Steph sitting out the front end of the back-to-back. I think it's the third one in a row. Is that just kind of the plan for the rest of the year, short, long term?
Oh, not necessarily for the rest of the year, but during this stretch where, you know, the knee tendonitis has been a factor, training staff feels strongly that for right now it makes the most sense to not play him in back-to-backs, but that could change as we go.
Is there a strategy in picking which game he's going to sit in a back-to-back?
Yeah, we always talk about, you know, how he's feeling, what it means. You know, in this case, he gets two days between games, which is nice, you know, rather than, you know, playing every other day or whatever. But, you know, it's there's different stuff that goes into it for sure.
The whole conversation about pace, I know that's something you've emphasized this year. The Grizzlies as well are emphasizing pushing the pace, but you've also played a lot of basketball in the playoffs when pace typically slows down. How much of this regular season emphasis of pace do you think can translate to success, you know, in the playoffs?
I think it can translate. You know, pace isn't just you know, getting fast break layups. It's pushing the ball into a half court set. It's amazing the difference in your success rate when you get the ball over half court in a couple of seconds rather than 5-6 seconds. It just puts the defense on its heels, and so I think it's something that almost every team in the league is emphasizing these days. And yes, baskets are harder to come by in the playoffs, but it doesn't mean pace needs to slow down.
Hello, Steve.
Hi, Mark.
Scotty Pippen Jr., I assume maybe because of his birth date, I don't know if you got to know him much or at all. But when you see, what do you think about him as a player? And when you see one of your former teammates' son have success like that, I don't know, what does that mean to you?
I never knew him. He came around after I was gone from Chicago. And so first thing I think about is how old we are. And then the next thing I think about is how cool it is, you know, just to see so many of the guys out there. Jaren Jackson's another one. I played with his dad in San Antonio. And, you know, you look around the league, there are just more and more sons of former players. And it's really a cool dynamic. Scotty Jr. is really a good player. You know, Memphis saw something they liked. They've done a good job in general of finding kind of these diamonds in the rough. Guys like Wells and G.G. Jackson and Scottie, and he's done a great job for them, you know, backing up Ja, and on nights like tonight, starting, pushing the tempo, playing really good defense. So he's a really good player. And
did you ever bump into Scottie maybe about 8-10 years ago and him say anything about his son to you?
No, we never really had that discussion.
Steve, I guess Dunleavy told Jared Greenberg in conversation that patience, it's going to take a look at what you've got. Obviously, things floating around the league, you got a trade deadline coming up. Has that been a discussion amongst all you guys, time to just see what you have, at least for a little while before any bigger decisions are made?
Yeah, for sure. I've talked to Mike about that, and I think that makes perfect sense. You know, we've been up and down this year, but we like the group. We like the people we have. We really want to see how we play over the next month, and then just, you know, keep our options open. I mean, obviously we're a game above 500, so we're not in a position to say, hey, we're good enough, let's just stand firm. We have to assess all the options. The players know that. They understand how this league works. So for me, it's, you know, let's see what we can do in these next few weeks, and hopefully we settle into this rotation, start shooting the ball better. I think with Dennis in the mix now, we have a chance to really be a great defensive team again, like we were early in the year. And if we can put it together, then you know, we may not need to do anything, but we definitely need to take this next month and really see what we have.
Steve, you've said that you didn't bring Dennis over here for his offense, but when you saw him make 3 threes, bang, bang, bang in the first quarter the other night, what went through your mind?
Well, he shot 40% in Brooklyn before we got him. Career 35, I think. He's a good shooter. So when he pushes the pace, when he defends like he did on the ball against Maxey, when the ball's moving the way it did the other night, he's going to make some shots, and he's going to be a really effective player for us. But again, biggest thing to me is his defense, and just the ability to say, all right, you got Maxey, or you have Garland, or you have so-and-so. It's a huge, huge weapon that allows us to set our defense and have Wiggs guard the opposing team's best wing. It allows Draymond to play behind the play, but with a point guard putting pressure on the ball. I think with Dennis in the mix, we have a chance to be really, really good defensively.
But when a player who's been struggling with his shot makes a few like that, can that give him an energy that translates to both ends of the court?
Mm-hmm. For sure, yeah. Seeing the ball go in, it translates at both ends. And I thought our whole team, making shots the other night, it was a relief, and you could see the energy it generated. And we played probably our best game, since first couple of weeks of the season.
Are you switching a little less this year maybe than
Yeah.
previous years?
Mm-hmm.
What's been the thinking there?
Well, we're a smaller team. We're starting Dennis and Steph, Draymond at the 4. We like to leave Trace to protect the rim and Draymond rather than switch and end up with an inverted defense. But we'll still switch some, but we think this roster is less suited for switching than some in the past.
That puts a little more responsibility to fight through screens, or is that like?
It does.
And
It does.
are you guys doing well on that right now, or there's been some problems there?
We're doing at times we are, at times we're not. I think just guarding the ball is, containing the ball has been an issue. That's a real key tonight. We got to keep these guys in front of us. But when we get into too much rotation, and teams are, swinging it around the perimeter for open threes, that's a real problem. And those numbers have shown pretty dramatically the last few weeks. We're giving up a really high percentage from three. So, that's where you say, all right, maybe we should red more often, meaning switch. And so we have to constantly assess that and see where we are. But personnel-wise, it's easier to switch when you've got, a big, versatile defense on the floor, which we can get to some lineups like that. But a lot of them we can't, and so we have to just figure that out.
Moses has been making shots the last couple games. Just what have you noticed about his minutes since he's come back?
He's just finding his rhythm. He was out for a while, and then the first few games that he came back, he wasn't in a rhythm, which usually happens. It takes some time, and he looks like he's got his confidence going, and it's exciting. We'll keep putting him out there.